All right, everybody, welcome to the new look NBHL Commish Chat podcast. I'm Commissioner Anthony Sanrocco, joined by co-founders Chide Janis and Gianni Sanrocco, and going to talk to you about the NBHL in our new studio here, huh?
This is insane. I can't believe we've gotten to this point, and I mean, I guess we got in here, February, so putting in the work to get this place built out has been so fun, and we're excited to give you more podcasts from this little studio.
Yeah, we got our sign here, our metal cutout. We put up some wallpaper. We got fancy lights, a lot of fancy lights actually, even new lights today. So
our producer Ty,
shout
built this
out
awesome
Ty.
desk,
yes,
that we're standing at
with his bare hands. You chop down the wood in your backyard. Yeah, it's crazy.
Say we've been looking at this podcast set for the last 2-3 weeks now. I've just been itching to get one out here, so it's fun to finally sit down behind the microphones.
Yeah, the new office is a great thing to have for us. Like TJ said, we moved in February, and it's just nice to have a place to do this where we're not, at Starbucks or our guest bedrooms or,
my actual bedroom.
Yeah, it's it makes it feel more. I don't even know how to describe it, but it just feels different this year actually having a space for this.
Yeah, and we have lights in front of us, a camera, and not my Zoom webcam. It feels all more real, and it should be a better product.
It's a little nerve-wracking, honestly. But no, I don't know. It feels good. And I mean, even with the office too, we have the way our league has grown differently this year is we have all these new staff members. We have a team of 11 interns between digital marketing, event management, hockey operations, media production that are going to be a huge part of everything in the NBHL this year. So if you're in the league, you're going to, see a lot different content. We're going to go into some of the stuff that you're going to be seeing this year that's different than past years. But the idea is we've got a lot more people working for us, and it's going to make this league feel and be the best that it's ever been by hopefully a significant margin. We'll see.
I mean, just the sheer amount, 11 interns doing all different roles, and not that we're old, but just having the young blood, and for memes and different content ideas and things along those lines, I think is going to be great for the league, and you'll probably see that shine through the content this year, and I'm excited about it.
I mean, I literally can't think in memes at all.
At all.
No.
Me and TJ are young. You're old, man.
Yeah. That phase has passed me. I just like memes. I don't think them.
Part of my pitch to the interns when interviewing them is I'd be I'm the oldest in the league, and I'm 32, so everyone else is young, so it's a decent place to work for that. If I'm the old guy, which I don't know, I guess that's all right. 32, it's not that old.
No.
Tell me I'm not that old.
You're not old.
Yeah, you're not that old.
Thank you. Thank God. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the growth of the league. So now we're at year 4. We have 203 teams this year from 35 different states and provinces. We have players right now that we officially know of. We're still waiting for waivers to get filled out, so that number might be higher, but we know of at least 35 states and provinces represented by players. We have 34 different divisions between Tier 1, 2, and 3. Women's in our new Women's Elite Division, which we'll get into later. Tier 1 has 19 teams. Tier 2 has 70 teams. Tier 3 has 90 teams. The women's tier has 20, and Women's Elite has 4. Some great round numbers there.
I mean, Tier 3 used to be
get one more.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
I mean, Tier 3 used to have, I think, the least amount, or maybe second to least next to Tier 1, but I feel like that has just grown exponentially.
Yeah, we know we have a lot of sandbaggers down in Tier 3. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen next year. We're coming for you. There's a lot of players playing couple levels lower than they probably should be that we'll address.
It doesn't make it any
season.
easier to win the cup, though.
No, now you have 90 teams to go against in Tier 3, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, women's grew. We got 2 more teams in women's. Pittsburgh is at 4 again. DC is at 4, but Jersey and Mass both rose to 6, which was great to see. Tier 1 shrunk a little bit, which is part of the sandbagging, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that number grows next year. We've got some rules we're hoping to implement that will grow Tier 1 for the 2025 season. But 19 for this year, still 19 incredible teams, and I don't know. We posted recently the 5 days graphic and who we think's going to win tier 2. And I mean, the Sound defending champs, like
I saw ISBHF commented the Sound are not going to be dethroned or something like that. And I was like, wow, from the ISBHF.
Yeah, I felt like that was a pretty bold take of them. Like, for them to even weigh in on that seemed, but interesting. ISBHF, thank you for the comment. We appreciate it. Keep doing it, please. But yeah, tier 2 will just be crazy per usual. Tier 3, we have so many new tier 3s this year because we added tier 3 in Georgia. We added tier 3 in Long Island. We added like underneath our tier 2s in North Jersey. We have a tier 3 now, South Jersey, Pittsburgh. And then now we have our hybrid tiers in Carolina and Florida. And a lot of confused comments on social media, understandably so. It's a work in progress thing that we're doing to... It's kind of trying to help areas that don't have a ton of ball hockey teams and players to help teams still take that next step up if they want to, while at the same time still growing at the tier 3 level. And the example like is Carolina. Like Carolina has won both tier 3 Milet Cups. So they won the Queen City Crowns, one in 2022, and then the Raleigh Squall won in 2023. And the Squall wanted to move up to tier 2, but the issue was there's no other tier 2 teams in Carolina. And the Squall were, just trying to figure it out, I guess. And the Crowns and like the Charlotte group, I guess. So it's basically like Carolina split between like Raleigh and Charlotte. And the Charlotte teams were doing their own kind of thing where they were splitting evenly amongst 3 teams and staying in tier 3. And the Squall said, well, no, we definitely still want to go to tier 2. So what we came up with was this format where the Squall are tier 2, the remaining 5 teams are tier 3. And basically the Squall's entire regular season is their playoffs. They get 10 games and they have to win 8 out of those 10. If they lose 3 games, their season is just over. So might seem like, oh, it's a tier 2 team going against tier 3 teams. Like they should, win all 10. You can make the argument, but there's the rivalries in Carolina are like legitimately very, very heated. And I know that the tier 3 teams, like they want to win. Like they want to beat the Squall. They want to prove that they can beat those guys. And the Squall, like they know it's coming. They know it's going to be tough. We just did our last episode with the guys on the Squall and talked about it a little bit. And they know that these teams are gunning for them and they want to beat them. So we'll see how that plays out. It's, we have 2 hybrid divisions. Florida's different, but Carolina is the only one that only has 1 tier 2 team. And we'll just see what happens if these games are what they sound like they're going to be, because the teams seem... There was a lot of conversation that went into it too. Like it wasn't just
Yeah, I remember there was like 3 or 4 different like hybrid scenarios you guys had probably came up with, and we kind of kept mulling them over and going back and forth, and it ended with this one. But I mean I really do think it's a nice dynamic for both the tier 2 team and the tier 3 teams, because tier 2 has to win their games, the Squall have to win their games, and tier 3 every time they face them are going to be up and ready to take them down. So it should make for some really good games and probably create and fuel more rivalries. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and then the tier 3, like it's not like the exact same tier 3 that they were when they won, the last 2 years, as these teams keep getting better and better every year. These guys are getting more and more experience playing ball hockey. So, even though they are tier 3, it's technically a tier below. Like these guys, they can still play, and it's a 30-minute game of play. And, sometimes the goalie just stands on their head, and if that happens to them 3 times, that could be it.
Yeah.
And who knows, it may breed more tier 2 teams out of Carolina next year.
Yeah, because we're
tier 2 teams.
Like Charlotte could field a tier 2 team, and I know they've had the discussion, but they went with the way that they're doing it this year, which is basically both areas of North Carolina are growing their player base in different ways, which is great, and we'll see. It's like everything with the NBHL, we're just going to kind of see what happens and hope that it works, and if it doesn't, we'll make tweaks to it. So. And then like Florida's different. Florida, we have 8 teams there, and we have 3 tier 2 teams and 5 tier 3 teams. So that one's a little simpler, where tier 2 will play some games versus tier 3, and then for the playoffs, it just separates to the top. Those 3 tier 2 teams have their own playoff. The 5 tier 3 teams have their own playoffs. And I've seen comments on social like, our division should do this. We get more teams at the NBHL championships. Like we should change us to a tier 3 or a hybrid tier. And it's the reason we're doing this is because it's not like where we are in Jersey, where we have 28 teams across our 3 South Jersey divisions, and then 6 in the women's. So we have 34 total teams, and it's not like that in these areas. So what we want to do is, say this Squall team enters as a tier 3 in North Carolina. They run through the division, they blow everybody out, they get to the Mile Cup. It discourages people from wanting to play. Like, why would I even play in this? Because we're going to get blown out every time against this team that just won the championship last year. And which, we're hoping it doesn't happen anyway. But like in the hypothetical where it does happen, we want to prevent that because we want to give the tier 3 team something to strive for as well. So now it's an opportunity for the tier 2 team to make it to the NBHL championships. And now there's a chance for these 5 tier 3 teams to compete on their own. And we get a second representative at the NBHL championships. And, if they do get blown out by the tier 2 team, it's not as discouraging because they're still fighting for a spot to win it all in their tier.
And this also keeps the, top players in those divisions, happy because they can, play with top level competition, if they make it to the, the championships. And, we don't lose those top players just because the location that they're from has, a lower skill set. But I think it will, end in a good way where, it fosters that, competitiveness and better players playing at the top level and all that.
Yeah. So we'll see with the hybrid stuff, but all these tier 3s we added led to some teams coming back that were in the NBHL before, which the one, not that we're most happy about, but I think the league collectively had a big sigh of relief when everyone learned that the Bloomfield Meatballs had returned.
Yes.
They won the March Madness for a reason a couple years ago. It's just, they look
how deep did they get
logo.
this year? I feel like they were early out, earlier than I had expected, at least.
I want to say they were Sweet 16 somewhere in there.
I think they went up against the Burger Boys, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's right. It was the food matchup.
Yeah, meat on meat.
And we know I love the Burger Boys. The only NBHL shirt I owned.
I'm surprised you didn't wear it for this, actually.
Yeah,
They didn't win the championship. If they were on top, they would have worn it.
Absolutely.
But the Meatballs are back. Our Georgia division, we're really excited about that. We got the LaGrange Hooligans coming back, who played in Carolina that we just spoke about in their opening season. That team was driving 6 to 8 hours to get to those games. They really
all for the love.
It was amazing that they did that, and now they have a division in their backyard. So they're driving, way less time. We've got 4 Georgia-based teams. With the way the division came together is actually crazy because we have a couple Atlanta teams. One team's LaGrange. One team is the what are they called? The Georgia Boll Weevils, which had to Google that.
Yeah.
Didn't know what those were. But the team, the division, it's we have players from Georgia, we have players from South Carolina, we have players from Alabama, we have players from Tennessee. There's people from all over that are coming to this division. So we're hoping more divisions sprout off of this we grow this division and then it leads to, Alabama divisions and Tennessee divisions. But that's a, lofty goal for down the line. But it's just cool to see all these people from all over the place willing to travel and come play at this Georgia division. So it's going to be exciting. Shout out to our guy, Glenn Cunningham, who's been leading the charge there. He's the best guy.
And the Hooligans, I guess, are getting the full NBHL experience, going from 6 to 8 hours to probably less than an hour to play their game.
It'll be a nice change of pace for them. And then we have Atlanta Dirty Birds coming back, who represented Florida at the Mile Cup in 2022. But it's a different Dirty Birds team. It's not that tier 2 team. I mean, it's got some of the players are the same, but it's a very different roster. But they'll be good. They'll definitely be one of the teams to beat in that Georgia division. And then Camden County Cobras coming back.
And coming back in our division.
Yeah, because they were here 21 and 22, right?
They were 21, 22. They left last year. Now that we have our tier 3 back in South Jersey now. We're not back in South Jersey, but we're opening up a new tier 3 in South Jersey. So they were one of the teams that wanted to come on board. They felt it was a little bit more appropriate for their skill level.
Yeah, I feel like they were middle of the pack tier 2 team, so they should do pretty well.
Yeah, they were middle of the pack,
3.
and they lost a couple of key guys to other tier 2 teams, so they felt like they couldn't compete anymore in tier 2. But tier 3's, a better fit.
Yeah, so league growth is great. We grew more from 23 to 24 than we did from 22 to 23. So the numbers are going up. And we're hoping that keeps growing. There's a lot of these tier 3 divisions that only have like 4 to 5 teams that we're going to
build out.
We've got some stuff lined up. We learned a lot this off season with how to grow these divisions. And I think we're going to have more lined up for this upcoming off season to grow these divisions even more. So 203 teams pushing 4,000 players. And
I remember
crazy.
2,000 players or whatever. It's crazy. It's doubled that quick, but
here we are. So new stuff for this year. And let's talk about Women's Elite here. So Women's Elite is something we dreamt up kind of out of a product of the way the women's tier have formed. It's a combination of some highly skilled players and a lot of players that are new to ball hockey. So it's an interesting mix. It's kind of the equivalent of like tier 1 being mixed with tier 3 in our open tiers. And what we wanted to do is give these national team players, the players that are winning the MVPs, all division teams, a different outlet where they can play against all the other players across the country that play at that skill level. And we copied a little bit of like the Premier Lacrosse League, where they have their rotational league format, where, for those unfamiliar, the Premier Lacrosse League, they used to have a tournament format for their league where all the teams would meet up in one area, play multiple games in a weekend, then they would go to another area, play a bunch of games in a weekend, and it was just, there was no home arenas, there was no home crowds, they weren't named to cities until recently when they named them. And this is a light version of that, where we only have 2 weekends where these teams are playing. But basically in July, these 4 Women's Elite teams will meet in Maryland and they'll play 5 games. And then in September at the NBHL Championships, they'll have a second weekend of play in Buffalo for their chance to win a Mila Cup, the first ever Women's Elite Mila Cup. And the way it works is we had open signups and we had the players all ranked. There was the players self-ranked. We had other people evaluating the players on their own that would, weigh in on their ranking being high, too low, things like that. And we had a draft. We named 4 GMs. We're really excited about all of them. And they picked their teams. And we're getting ready to announce the team names and the logos and the branding and stuff. So that's coming soon. And right now we're just working on getting our hotel blocks for the players, and setting up the weekend and figuring out how we're going to make it as awesome as it's going to be. So really excited about it. It's, obviously there's no such thing as pro ball hockey, but this is supposed to be like that level. Like it's the best of the best playing intermixed on different teams with people they wouldn't usually play with locally.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see the top women in the sport get to go against each other, not on the world stage, but just, within the U.S. and I guess some Canadians. But, that's probably hasn't happened besides, some of like the cool hockey event tournaments and things like that. But I'm sure all the women are super excited about that got drafted. And I was just going to say, do they even know what team they're on yet?
They know like who their general manager is. Okay. They don't know their team name.
Yeah, because we did the draft in here a few weeks ago, and I witnessed Anthony and Mel do the draft in here a few weeks ago, so it was kind of cool to see who was getting picked during the draft. So you'll see all that soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, shout out Melissa Jones, our women's tier commissioner, all the stuff she did to make it happen. She's been nonstop messaging, emailing, calling, doing things, outlines, just making this work, and she's been fantastic. Can't say enough about it, and I don't know, this is just exciting. It's a new thing for us, and I was at North Americans in Pottstown a couple weeks ago and got some feedback, some positive, some negative, and what we ask is just, this is a learning thing for all of us. That the elite tier is not for everybody's interest. I know some people want to see it develop and see it turn into what we hope it turns into, and it's going to take. There's a learning curve. Yeah. The way with the NBHL is too. We've changed things. We changed the tier 1 cap, or not the tier 1, the salary cap significantly this year. And some people hated it. Some people liked it. I've had people call me out at tournaments and, yell shit at me. I'm like, I get it. Like, we're going to do things you're not going to agree with. And it's all part of the long-term play of just continuing to make this league better. So Women's Elite, just excited. Should be something cool, something different.
For sure.
And then with that is our new Monday Night Ball Hockey segment. So G, you want to talk through that a little bit?
Yes,
Actually?
I mean, for those of you who have been longtime viewers and fans of the NBHL, you've seen that we do have live streams that have gone around the country. So we're trying to bring some of that, in-house, and we're going to be producing our own Monday Night Ball Hockey segments. One of the issues that we felt like with our format of our live streams in the past was that they were always on Sundays, and you were all playing your games on Sundays for the most part. So we wanted to put it at a different time and make it more accessible so that people weren't busy, occupied being at the rinks. So we settled down on Monday night, figured everyone would be home first day of the week, and give them something cool and entertaining to watch. So we got it's our tier ones only. So it'll be in Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, Buffalo, and New Jersey. It'll rotate throughout those 4 divisions with just the tier 1. So it'll be the best of the best competition. You'll see teams on there multiple times, a couple of weeks in a row. So you'll get familiar faces, familiar teams, familiar logos. And it's just going to be, just like our memory to video live stream, high quality produced announcers, graphics, the whole 9 yards. We're hoping it's something that people really like and they enjoy and they tune into. And it's something that, people are going to look forward to every week, we're hoping.
Yeah, week 1, starting off right in Pittsburgh. Got some, premier talent up there. And the way the Pittsburgh division changed up this year, we've got 5 teams, and I couldn't even tell you who I think is going to win that division. It's going to be crazy because the rosters look a lot different, but it's a great place to start because, they've won 2 out of the 3 Tier 1 Milet Cups.
Yeah.
So.
And not just going back to like the actual stream, like not just for you guys to watch, but this also hopefully, puts the sport, out there to just more random people that don't know anything about it, and will increase viewership and hopefully, get some sponsors on the stream and things like that will all help, the league grow and, that stream grow. And I'm just excited to see the storylines week to week from, the first week in Pittsburgh to the third week, and, how we can capitalize on that and how the viewers can follow that, which is probably hard to do when there's 200 something teams. So you'll have a little bit of, consistency throughout the season. So that should be nice.
And speaking of viewers too, we will have a new platform that we're going to be streaming this all on. If you were familiar with our live streams in the past, we had them all on Twitch. But this year we're going to be streaming on YouTube and our new streaming partner, Caffeine. So just everyone, if you go take a look over to caffeine.tv, our NBHL account's already up there. We do have some content, and that's where you'll be able to find our Monday night live streams going forward.
Yeah, and Ty will just put the graphic right there for Caffeine to show up.
So our producer Ty for those following at home.
But yeah, for Caffeine is strictly a sports streaming platform. So it's not like Twitch where it's,
gaming mainly, yeah.
Yeah, it can be whatever. Like there's some like the World Highlight League on there. Do you know what Highlight is?
I've seen it, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. They throw the ball like
it's very niche
300
sports.
miles an hour.
I saw like Live Golf was on there, like
indoor football
darts
league
or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like where we're positioned, I think, in the market. So it's it should drive some good viewership, I think.
Yeah, we're just hoping this gets it to, our not traditional, like it gets outside the ball hockey bubble basically and gets some other eyes on it. So again, excited about it, and we're just gonna learn. So bear with us if this first stream has some growing pains, because we've been doing a lot. Shout out to Declan Moffitt and Casey Cormier and Will Tucker, Casey and Declan came down to South Jersey a couple weeks ago and tested out the system. Will Tucker of the Seattle Cold Snacks, referred to as a genius.
Yeah.
As a genius.
He did call us that.
Yeah, he what's it called? He's helped us develop this whole off season. He's been incredible, and like I said, this is a first for us, and we're going to see how it goes this first weekend. But how many hours have we spent here working on this?
Anthony, Monday night ball hockey.
Oh, yeah.
But no, we put a ton of work into this. We'll be producing it right next door over here in the office.
A lot of testing, a lot of troubleshooting and figuring stuff out, but it feels like we're basically there. So yeah, again, bear with us for the first one, but we should have it dialed in the future.
It's a big reason we pushed to get the office. It's because we didn't know. I love you guys, but I wasn't going to invite you two and our producers over on a Monday night in my guest bedroom every Monday for the entire season. I just couldn't do it.
No. So we have a whole setup right on the other side of that wall, which is pretty sick. So we'll probably do an office tour at some point, so you'll see the behind the scenes of it. I'm sure we're going to want to show it off. So
So Monday Night Ball Hockey. Anything else?
Nah, that's it. Just tune in, tune in every single week and make sure you like comment and engage with the stream too. Not just viewing, but get us some engagement.
Yeah,
Let's
share it with friends.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah. Oh, and new website too.
Yeah, we could touch on that briefly, I guess.
Little website touch.
Yeah, we switched up the website again. I know it's been like 3 different websites in like 4 years, but I think this is probably the one that's going to stay the longest because just from the technical perspective, stats, schedule, all that is just so much easier than what we had in the past. And I think, this will really help the league scale as we've been growing. So you'll start to see, year-to-year stats and career stats for players and things like that. So it's exciting. It's finally all going to be there. And go check it out, thembhl.com, and let us know if you want anything on there.
Yeah, you're not going to see the year-to-year stats yet, but I mean, I don't understand the process, but it sounds like it's a lot.
It may be difficult to get the past seasons in, but I'm going to work on it throughout the season. And, if not from here on out, should have, everything, assuming we don't change websites, but I don't think we will be.
No, we're really happy with Crazy and what they've done. So, yeah, new website's great. And then NBHL Championships, just touching on that a little bit here. So this year will be in 2 weekends, and we're calling it the NBHL Championships. You're still competing to win a Milet Cup, but the tournament itself is the championships split across 2 weekends. So first weekend is September 13th to 15th in Buffalo, New York at Riverworks, which that facility is unbelievable. It's beautiful.
Have you been there, G?
I haven't been there. I see all the footage from the Future Stars and the Masters World Championships, but I haven't made the trip myself.
I haven't. Yeah, we didn't go to that Chicklets Cup.
That's
I think it was just you and
Chicklets Cup too. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you sent us videos. I've seen pictures. It looks perfect for what we want to do there. So
yeah, and it's that weekend will be Women's Elite in Tier 1. It's going to be, the rink is covered, so weather will not be a factor like it was.
Super happy about that.
There's no bomb cyclone again. And what's it called? They've got a huge bar there. They've got concessions. They've got
internet. They've got bathroom. They got everything. So
they've got locker
facilities.
Rooms. Like it's going to be a state of the art facility for what we're putting on here. And every game will be live streamed. We'll have our Monday Night Ball Hockey set up. It'll be at every game at this NBHL Championships in Buffalo. It'll also be at every Women's Elite game throughout the entire season as well. I forgot to mention that. But it's going to be the top 8 Tier 1 teams. It'll be all 4 Women's Elite teams, and it's going to be awesome.
And they don't have to play a million games in 95 degrees sun. It's covered. So
yeah. And now we transition to Tier 2, 3 in Women's Weekend, which is outdoors. So we're hoping. I mean, it can't happen again, right? Like
it definitely can't happen again.
I know we need it,
but it can't.
If
third time's the charm.
If anybody wants to work with us on building a facility with like 4 rinks, please, we want to do it so badly, so we can just cover them and make this not an issue. But we need. I mean, I know Friday night at this NBHL Championship in Jersey, we're going to be using 5 rinks.
Yeah.
And thankfully in South Jersey, we have the luxury of having, a ball hockey rink everywhere you turn. So we'll be able to spread it out that way. But we, September 20th to 22nd, different facility. We won't be in Marlton. We'll be at the Gloucester rinks in Blackwood, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
We'll be at that facility. Some of the teams played Milet Cup games last year when we had our offsite games there. So we'll be, at that facility now. And
that's also where we host our New Jersey divisions as well for Tier 1, Tier 2, and some of Tier 3. They're all there. So if you guys go look up that footage, you'll get a good idea of what those rinks look like and how they feel and play.
So, so that'll be, the same Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll have as many teams actually at this one as we did last year because of how much Tier 3 expanded.
Yep.
So there's still going to be huge tournaments. Like last year's Tier 3 Milet Cup, the first year it was 5 teams. I believe it was 5. Second year it was 9. So this year it depends on a couple things, but it should be between 16 and 18 teams for Tier 3.
Imagine jamming all of not having the Buffalo weekend. I guess it's literally not possible. We know that, but
No, I don't know. We couldn't.
we would
have
need
done
like a
it.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, so we had to split up. And yeah, it'll be different, and we won't have any. I know we got a lot of flack on the Tier 1 rules with teams not qualifying for Sunday. That rule is, we don't have that rule anymore. So we changed that up, and it's just going to be, the top 8 teams in Buffalo of Tier 1, the 4 women's elite teams, and then Jersey's going to have 30-plus teams between the women's Tier 2, and Tier 3. And back-to-back weekends,
Yeah, that's going to be fun for us.
yeah, I'm going to be exhausted, but it'll be worth it. It'll be fun, and hopefully spreading it across 2 weekends gets it gives the ability for the other tiers to watch the other tiers more, and the Tier 2 and 3 and women's teams can watch the opening weekend and just kind of mentally prep themselves for what they're about to do. But yeah, so 2 weekends this year should be different. Yeah, I'm very excited for it. Not excited for the drive to Buffalo, but everything else I'm excited for.
We'll be able to celebrate my birthday on that Saturday.
Huh. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I'm expecting all the teams participating to bring me a birthday gift, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'll put that in the outline. I'll make sure they know. So let's talk Scotland tournament. So NBHL is going to Scotland. It's crazy to think about. I've never even been to Europe before, so this will be a first for me.
Oh.
No,
that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I've always been allergic, but I think I'm over it now. So
You got your Europe allergy shots in.
Yeah, so I should be fine. And basically the way it all unfolded is Ball Hockey United Kingdom reached out to us, said they were looking to host an event. They weren't, for their national teams, give them an opportunity to train and prep for the Worlds, and give us an opportunity to bring players across the pond and see what happens. So originally the goal was for it to be a women's division and a men's division, and we sent out some emails, put out some blasts on social media. So I've had a few people be like, why didn't I get the invite? Everybody got the invite. You just had to have seen it, so maybe you didn't see it.
Right.
But we sent it out to all the players, put it on our socials, and there's a form if you wanted to play, great. If you didn't, you just didn't fill it out, I guess. And after we got a bunch of people who registered, we put our teams together, and they said to us that there was not enough interest for the women's, so the women's half of that tournament was not going to happen. But we still put a men's team together, and we've got 17 players right now. We've got a huge Airbnb, and we're going to go play against, it's a Great Britain national team. It's their Great Britain second team, a team from the Swiss Pro League, and then Team Bermuda. So 5-team tournament.
Was there a Quebec team or no? I thought there was supposed to be or something.
Yeah, they were talking about it, I guess, but it didn't come together. But it'll be those 5 teams. We have 2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, then playoffs on Sunday, and we're just gonna go out there and try to represent.
Sadly, Gianni and I aren't going.
Yeah,
but that's because of our choice. I need enough time off to be in Buffalo and GT and amongst the other things I have planned for the summer. But Stribe's going, Ant's going, so you guys will see all the pictures and content they'll be feeding from that tournament. And sadly, we can't go, but wishing them the best.
Saying you're not only going, you're playing too.
Oh yeah,
I am.
It's the first time you get to represent Team NBHL.
Yeah, and then the rink is huge, so I've been trying to hit the treadmill as much as I can. I'm not doing it tonight because we're doing this, but it's a full NHL size rink. It's like an ice rink. It's in a stadium. Like, it's sick. It looks unbelievable. I've never played anything like that in my life, so I am very excited for it. And shout out to Ball Hockey United Kingdom. They've done an amazing job communicating, organizing it, getting everybody ready for it, and just keeping us up to date with scheduling. And it's just been very well done. We're very excited. The players are excited. We've got a really good team going. I'm very excited about our team. And
I see your guys' group chat has been going off the wall. Seems like you guys are planning some beer tours and things like that. So it looks like it will be a lot of fun.
The group chat is lively.
Yeah.
Everybody seems pretty fired up. Yeah, I mean, we've got all of us, and pretty much all of us are in one
I'm just
place.
like jealous of every message that comes in. I'm like, I should probably just leave the group.
Actually, you should.
Yeah, we're getting FOMO.
I think we booked like a whiskey bar tour for the Thursday night or Friday night. So it's going to be tough because all our flights are red eyes. So we're going to be I'm going to try to sleep on the plane
Yeah.
and just rally and go, and we'll see. So, yeah, if the first week in May are NBHL stuff, my communication isn't as good. That's why. I'm going to try my best, but that would be why. But
And I think I have to mention the Cranberry fighting Scots, since you guys are going to Scotland. I don't know, just randomly that we have a team called that, and then they're going to Scotland. I was like, you guys have to bring a jersey and give it as a present to Ball Hockey UK or whatever. But
we're going to try to get one. I don't know if we
Scots. Can. Yeah.
What an absurd team name to enter the league when we're going to a Scotland tournament. And anyone want to take the lead on the underdog story of the century?
I mean, I can't believe the Trash Pandas didn't win March Madness.
The New York Pigeons.
The New York Pigeons.
The March Madness champions. I don't know if I had them out of my round of 64.
No, I wouldn't have.
It's a little cute pigeon, but it's
very representative of New York, like the Pigeon's a very good name for a New York team, but just people usually love like the food logo. So it's surprising that one didn't win.
I think the Pandas didn't win just because of how close it is to the Danbury team, but
I will say the Pigeons logo, it grew on me. Like in the beginning, it was just, honestly, when I'm posting those, it's just, I'm not really paying too much mind to it, but I didn't think they were going to go that far. But the more it went, I'm like, okay, it is kind of a cool logo. Like it's the bird wearing the chain with the hockey ball. Like, I don't know. It's cool. So I think they had like all Long Island hopping on our Instagram story voting because they won by 5 votes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We had
It came down to the
votes.
wire.
They won by 5.
Yeah.
It's as close
And
as it could have
again,
been.
I mean, I think we said it last year, but just some terrible logos across the league. Some really good ones, of course, but I don't know what you guys think of for a hockey team logo, but that's not it.
Yeah, let's if you lost in the first round, second round maybe even, just take a look at the logo and think like, should we be doing something different here? Like we should be going further in this tournament. This tournament matters. This is a big deal. And we've seen, I mean, the Burger Boys went to the Final Four again, which the Burger Boys logo was great. But, I mean, the Sauce, they went to the Final Four for the second year in a row.
I was going to say,
lost.
they keep getting...
The Sauce logo is sick.
That's
That
a
logo's
very good
awesome.
one.
But, I mean, so the 4 champions, first year was our Tortugas team.
That was my
Really?
Tortugas
You guys
team
were
that
the
year.
first
Yeah. All right, you were a cold
Actually,
snack that year.
Yeah, I was a cold snack, actually. Second year was the Meatballs. Thank God they're back. Last year was the Burger Boys. And then this year was the Pigeons. So it's been animals and beef. That's the 2 themes. So if your logo sucks, add some beef to it, and it might be better for next year.
Make a cute food logo.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the Final Four, it sounds like.
Yeah, we love the beef over here.
And the Pigeons are new, debuting in this tournament, and they go all the way.
Yeah, I guess technically all 4 champs have been edible. Like,
The meatballs are new. Yeah.
I mean, you like pigeon.
Oh yeah, I had pigeon for lunch today.
Yeah, but most people don't. But like there's, turtle soup, tortugas. So we could, so more beef is our request for the league here, if possible.
Fair enough.
But yeah, March Madness. Shout out to the Pigeons. Awesome win. It was cool. It was the closest final we've ever had.
Yeah.
Like it was 50-50 to the wire. And it was just fun. I was checking my Instagram fairly often that day, just seeing who was going to win because it was, I mean, at one point the what's it called? Why can't I think of the team? The Trash Pandas were 51-49, so it was close.
Should we maybe rethink our women's elite logos? Add some more beef to them?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess while we still have time, we should.
Is that they were not included in the logo bracket, so those are still some mystery logos not to be seen by people. Maybe a bonus round?
Yeah, we'd have to do like one-on-one matchups of all of them versus the Pigeons.
The Burger Girls.
Yeah, the Burger Girls, the Burger
Bay
Women.
Area Burger Women.
Yeah. Yeah. So big change. So like I said, if your logo didn't do well in March Madness, it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
But I think any other like rule things to touch up on that we should go over? Like, I know you got to wear your jerseys for every game, even the goalies. Goalies, if you don't wear your jersey, your team is going to get a minor penalty to start the game. So wear your jersey, please. Non-roster goalies, it doesn't apply for. But if you're on the team, you're the goalie, you got to wear your goalie
I think
this
just
year.
generally for probably new players is like you can get suspended from the games and the league. So just be ready to be suspended if you do something stupid. But I don't know if you want to touch on that anymore.
We're pushing towards our 200th suspension this year. We will not be celebrating it, but it's a milestone, one that we don't want to have, but a milestone nonetheless. And yeah, we've got our ref in chief, Mike Wabi's been fantastic in developing our systems for this, and we've changed up how we're going to handle our suspensions internally a little bit this year.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of incorporation of the head refs from the divisions and a lot more open conversation on where these suspensions should be. But at this point, we've kind of set precedent on most things that happen. I mean, every year something happens where we're like, oh, I guess how could we have anticipated? I don't even want to go into detail on some of the things that we've seen, but there's always something new. But generally, like if you've done something, we've suspended somebody for it at this point, we know what you're going to get. And you obviously you have the whole appeals process, and you have the opportunity to fight your suspension. But let's keep that number down.
Yes,
I think percentage-wise, we were up very slightly in suspensions last year. At the end of the year, it kind of took an uptick. Playoffs got intense,
right? But more players, right?
Yeah, so I don't want my week to be consumed with suspension calls again. It probably will some weeks, but just keep your heads. Don't punch people. Don't say anything bad. Like, don't say any slurs. Like, just treat people with respect, and we're gonna have fun.
Yes.
Like, we all got work on Monday.
Exactly.
So let's just act that way on the rink. But it's gonna be a fun year. Like I said, we got 200 plus teams. That's a good 200.
Yeah,
that's a much better 200.
Recording this the April 1st, so next weekend or this coming weekend is opening day. So super excited, and year 4.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're already at it. It feels like Miley Cup was just like 4 days ago.
Yeah,
and now
I know
we're
the
here.
off season did fly by a little bit.
I feel like they get quicker and quicker every year.
It really does. But I don't know. I'm just pumped. Like the team we have working with it for us this year is amazing. Like we have so many people like new to the NBHL that are going to just make such a difference this year, and you'll start seeing like different content than you've seen from us on socials. Like even like on Instagram, it's different now. We have tier accounts that'll be split up based on obviously like more tiered content, and instead of having a million division accounts, we now have, I guess, regional accounts where, just New Jersey's in one spot, region. Philly's in one spot, California's all in one spot. So that'll make social media a little less chaotic, I think.
To follow and for us to manage at the same time, yeah.
But I guess that's it. Are we good?
Yeah.
No
Welcome
Q&A
back to Commish Chat. I guess. What'd you say?
No Q&A this week. We usually do a Q&A at the
Q&A.
end.
We didn't get any questions.
I forgot that bad start.
Any questions, Ty?
Yeah, producer Ty, give us a question.
What's your favorite vegetarian dessert?
Vegetarian dessert?
Carrot cake.
I
don't know.
Wait, what desserts aren't vegetarian?
I don't know.
Give me a dessert that's not vegetarian, actually.
Meatballs.
Yeah,
It depends when you eat them, yeah.
Yeah, if you
or like candied bacon could be a not vegetarian dessert.
Are they from Bloomfield, though?
Yeah, they have to be from Bloomfield to make those.
We'll get questions next time.
All right, I'm a cookie guy. Give me chocolate chip cookie any day.
Big chocolate mousse cake. I know mousse is technically an animal, but not that kind of mousse.
So September 14th, if you're at the Tier 1 NBHL Cup chocolate mousse cake, and I think that's a good episode.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Watch it back. And hope we don't look like idiots out here. But for everybody there, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Welcome to the new set. And bye.
Yeah, see ya, everyone next week. Or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. But yeah, here we go. All right, we're good. We'll edit some of that, or do we leave it?
Yeah, we leave it. See ya.
That's the first time.
Cut. Stop. We're done.